Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today it's the man-child. Okay, today for review, I got in that new Omega Spawn from Mcfarlane Toys. You're looking pretty cool. Definitely unique, different. Pretty good size. I don't know. I think from the comic books, maybe it's supposed to be bigger than the average Hell Spawns. I'm not sure, but it's cool to have them in hand. Here's a quick look at the art on the back of the box of the new Omega Spawn. Yeah, looking pretty cool. Little plasma effects coming out of his hands, and this figure also has looks like 22 points of articulation. And flipping it around to the one side, same image on the back, but expanded. Got the little Spawn logo up here. And here's a quick look around with Omega Spawn out of the box. So taking a closer look at Omega Spawn. Now the first issue is very common with a lot of my Mcfarlane figures is you get this stand, but he does not stand. The ankles are so loose, he just falls over no matter what I do. So I use these, Kaiser stands I mentioned constantly. Every one of my figures has to have them. The Mcfarlane Spawn figures are really notorious for needing these because of the loose ankle joints. Just how, sloppy and loose that is. I mean, it's really bad in this figure, but with these Kaiser stands, it holds them up okay. So taking a look at that head sculpt, yeah, looking pretty cool, I'll say that. I love the way the mouth is sculpted open like that with the teeth. The Hellspawn eyes is painted recessed back into this face mask. Horns are pretty neat. Now, they don't articulate, just kind of their own thing, but neat sculpt. Paint and horns on top of the head. As far as the articulation, we go all the way left to right. You can look down and back about that far. You got to watch, too, because this ball peg also is very loose, and the head wants to... It already popped off once on me messing around with it. Not a big deal, goes right back on, but kind of showing all that. Yeah, but the head sculpt's really cool in this guy. You could probably put it on another Spawn body, too, if you wanted to. Here's even a closer look just for more details. We'll check it out. So moving down to the chest and ab area, so we got some cool chains. All solid, painted silver, and they aren't part of the sculpt. Mine are like pegged in. It feels like they're glued, but you can see how loose they are. If you want to remove them, you could, I guess. It's got these straps on each side with these spikes painted silver, and these are like painted like they're leather or something, or some type of harness. Seems like, yeah, it's a combination of, well, it looks like it's actually not part of the sculpt, but it is cut and contoured into the body in some spots and glued. So it doesn't seem like it's meant to come off. But anyway, and then you got, so as far as the ab crunch, you do still have that with the chains. You can go forward, back, and spin. You can see how the chains are wrapped under the ribs, helps them move that way. And yeah, you already see the waist here has a pretty good cut. Go forward, back, and spin. It's got that typical Spawn design on the chest there painted. Now, this guy is just so heavy, top heavy. Look how loose that is, the joint in there. He falls forward, you get that big gap. Just, it's... Yeah, really sloppy mine with that and the ankle joint so far. I don't know. You do have this rubber piece, so when you have them sit in certain positions, it does hide that. But yeah, that's not good at all. So checking out that cape. That cape is another cool piece too. Like the head, yeah, like one big giant piece of fur. Sculpting's awesome, and I love the paint. It's now... I'm going to flip it up for me. You can see it's on a big peg, so you can kind of pop it out of the body, and it looks like it's pegged on the shoulders as well. It's all the back detail while we're looking where the chains go across, those leather straps, all his cuts and whatnot, okay? Really heavy, though. That cape, you can't believe how heavy the cape is alone. That also makes this figure with this issue I have in my waist right now fall back. Can't believe how heavy that is, but there's all detail on it. You want to check all that out. And then moving on to the arms, the articulation with that cape's got these big, points coming out of it, rocks like or something, spines. And you can go out about that far. Let's see, down, up and down. Oh, it's really tight, the arm. I wish the legs and the torso was like that. Go forward and back. Of course, the cape's going to hinder it. Let's out of the way. You can bend at the elbow. Now, he only has one elbow joint, nothing double in there. Really good detail and paint, though. Pretty cool. See all that. You can see the, not wrist bracers, but just the spines, the spikes coming out, and then he has two clawed hands here, and that too is on a, now that spins, it's also on like one of those split joints you got to watch. It goes all the way in like that. Somebody in the comments said that these break. I think what they're referring to is these pop apart. I've had that in a lot of Spawn figures. You clip back in, but I don't really like the split joint that Mcfarlane does on a lot of figures too, but he has it. Mine's okay. And the left arm is pretty much all the same. Looks like it has all the same sculpting, more or less, with the spines and details. The right, same thing with the spines coming out of the forearm. Look very identical for the most part. Same hand articulation. And moving back down to the waist, I already showed this, but yeah, look at that. Really, man, really bad. The gap in there and just how loose that is. And I'm not really sure. I have to try to tighten it up at something. Anyway, all right, legs will go all the way out like so, and go forward like this. And this piece is all rubber here, glutes, and allows them to go back like that. You can bend at the knee, double hinge joint, pin showing there. Spines are really sharp. Good detail though on both legs. Very, pretty much the same for the most part. As far as the spines come out, they vary in different spots. And yeah, so we did the knee. You can see all this cool sculpting here, spines. And the legs are same thing, very much the same with the way this, it might be a little different with sculpting. But then we get to the ankle here. It's the most important, right? And so yeah, up and down, we know that. It's like on a ratchet joint or a hinge joint in there. And then you got toe articulation, like a lot of spawn figures, up and down. And you can also spin, but yeah, these are really, really sloppy. I mean, extremely loose. And it's both sides too. Here's some quick comparisons with the new Plague Spawn against the Omega Spawn. I got him standing all right now. I had to balance him forward, and he's holding himself together for the moment. But yeah, I got to use a Kaiser stand. Waist, big problem there. But you kind of see the size difference, and this is the Throne Spawn, and that's a custom eBay cape, which is really cool. Wires and cloth. Put some alternative guns and a sword in his hand, but I just wanted to give a size comparison with all three of these figures together. Okay, so that pretty much sums up my review with the new Omega Spawn, sided comparisons. He doesn't come with any weapons. It is a cool looking figure, highly detailed for what you're getting, but yeah, these QC issues of mine are terrible. Look at it, just keeps falling backwards. My waist looks like it's ready to snap in half, and this guy's going to pop out of that however he is set in there. I'm going to go in there with silicone or tighten up with something. I'm not sure. My ankles are a mess. Take him off the stand, he just keeps falling, and yeah, really bad. It's a shame for a figure that for pre-order was almost $50. If you like them, I would just definitely wait on clearance. Pick them up for 30 or under if you can, because it's not worth 50 and dealing with all this stuff. I have a feeling a lot of these, it's going to be a common QC issue, and the risks like that guy in the comments. I can totally see that. That's a shame, for a figure like this. But if you don't overlook that stuff and you want to fix things like that, get them on clearance, go for it. That's my opinion, my review. So thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.